Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the October 17th, 2020 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams. I'm Caleb Black, our in-studio producer, the mighty Max Fury, and it is time for This Week in Review. We're talking Raw, we're talking SmackDown, AEW, NXT, and Impact, not to mention some Ring of Honor updates regarding their championship title tournament, the G1 Classic, all this and more. Let's get right into it. Raw, we pretty much covered the only major eventful thing that happened there was the draft.
Yes. Oh, and Orton, up high.
Not even a Randy Orton fan.
I am a Randy Orton fan.
Not even
Drew McIntyre attacked him. He jabbed him in the eye backstage. Other than that, the draft pretty much took up
most
all
of
Raw, so we'll go ahead and skip past Raw.
Moving right on to Tuesday nights on Impact. Impact furthered the push to Bound for Glory. We saw a match between Kylie Ray and Kimberly. Kylie Ray, obviously the number one contender for Deanna Purrazzo's Women's Championship. Also, yes. Eric Young beat the holy hell out of Scott D'Amore.
Yeah, he did.
Rich Swann, obviously making the save. And Madman Fulton lost to the big LG, Luke Gallows, setting up for their big Fatal 4-Way tag match alongside the North. Madman Fulton, Ace Austin, the Good Brothers, and the fourth team,
the champions.
The Motor City Machine Guns. I don't know why it completely escaped me. Impact's looking good. The build for Bound for Glory is looking good, but it wasn't much more than that.
There is something special about the X Division title, correct?
Yes, there's a 6-person scramble for the X Division Championship. Rahit Rajud, TJP, Willie Mack, Jordan Grace, and two more people.
Trey
is one of them. Yes,
somebody else. Regardless, what's that about? How does that go?
Basically, they haven't really specified. I don't know if it's going to be elimination or singles fall, but the X Division title's up for grab. 6 people walk in, 1 person leaves X Division champion. My money's on Jordan Grace.
So basically, 6 people are wrestling for the same for one prize.
Yes,
sort of like Christmas at your house.
Bay. Chris Bay is saying, "Get out of here." Chris Bay's the 6th man.
A lot of children and a lot of hands.
I've only got. That's none of your business. Wednesday Night Wars picked up AEW. Every championship was on the line. Orange Cassidy against Cody Rhodes. The Murder Hawk against Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
The North. FTR defending the AEW tag team titles against the Best Friends.
You were right, the North of AEW. It's cool.
The North is the FTR of Impact. Let's make that
just
perfectly clear.
Just switch
what other matches did we see on the night of all title defenses?
They're just the title matches. The only thing else I remember that wasn't a title match, you had Jericho and MJF's big announcement, which was he's kind of thinking about, sort of almost maybe thinking about
joining the Inner Circle.
And Jericho told him that he challenged him to a steak dinner next week on AEW.
Oh, for heavens.
The best part of the whole friggin' show, title matches and everything, was the fact that when the Inner Circle come out, they're all wearing these Inner Circle jackets that MJF got them. And the only one not wearing one is Sammy. He's got it in his hands, and he's like, "Put your jacket on, it's a present. Don't be ungrateful." And Sammy Guevara's like, "There's no way in hell I'm putting this jacket on." And Jericho turns to him and says, "Put the jacket on. It's a gift. You're being rude. Put the jacket on." He puts the jacket on, and it's like this hanging off of Guevara. It's so big. One of the absolute funniest things I've seen, and then the rest of the show was just gone.
Guevara should have been spelled incorrectly, too. It should have been like Sammy Guerrero.
Oh, I mean, it looked like a jacket both of us could wrap ourselves in together.
We're both big guys.
Yeah.
Especially him.
Especially Max.
Well, Max is a big man in every way that counts.
You know what? You could almost fit 13 children in it.
That's an arbitrary number. It's not a real number. It's not. 12 is a better number.
12 Did you just say 12 is a better number? It is kind of a solid round number.
It's an even number, 13.
They can all ride on the roller coasters.
Don't like the last.
So we're going to jump to NXT. All right.
Dexter Lumis sets a challenge for the North American Championship against Damian Priest.
And loses.
Yeah.
How do you bring in somebody that was so hot? And he really was. He was on fire. He was picking up before he got hurt. You bring him in, if he was even really hurt.
Right.
and it wasn't just a play to get him out of that
for a little bit.
But then you bring him back with all the gusto and everything, and you have him lose on television, no less. Not even a pay-per-view.
Well, he'll get his chance to be the legitimate number one contender down the line. I think they got to finish this thing with Gargano first.
I think what the thing with Finn Balor is, they're thinking maybe with Loomis, maybe they should keep him out of the North American title picture just in case they got to put him in
as a fullback for the world title. I don't know that he's a world title guy yet, but I wouldn't be mad about it.
I don't know, man. I mean, a lot can be said the same about Karrion Kross.
True.
I mean, I know that Killer Kross was huge on the Indies and on the
NXT title's got to be cursed.
But I mean, Shaw's really good too, and now that he's come up with this Loomis gimmick, dude, the sky's the limit, really.
True. We've also seen the return at NXT's Halloween Havoc, the return of the spin the wheel, make a deal. One of the most fun things WCW ever did. If you're not familiar with it, check it out. Basically, there's a wheel with dozens of different match concepts on it. They spin it and shoot after work that match. So that'd be a lot of fun to check out.
Unless it's a digital wheel.
Yeah, unless it's a digital wheel. Yeah, and of course, it's got the Funhouse match.
That isn't on the wheel, but it should be.
It should be. Yeah.
I want an electric chair death match. That's what I want. MDK.
That pretty much covers what we had on NXT. Let's blow right past to SmackDown.
Not a lot happened.
Not a whole lot happened. We saw the fallout of the draft.
Yeah.
We've seen Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman in the main event for the Universal Championship.
Yeah. New Day's last
six-man tag. An emotional goodbye. And honestly, the Roman Reigns-Braun Strowman match was great. Well, it wasn't great. I'm sorry. It was good. And the finish, while not conventional, I liked.
I like the fact that it kind of gives a depth to Roman Reigns that he's more than just the Superman.
More than just the punch and the spear guy, that he's got. Well, and with a guy like his size, submissions can be believable.
Not to mention, if you add in the fact that they're going to try to maybe push the Goldberg thing, Goldberg come in for the spear, and as he makes contact with the spear, Roman wrap him in that guillotine choke, and you've got a finish that writes itself.
Yeah, the G1 Classic still going on in.
Oh wait, but before we get past SmackDown, we should state. For a season premiere on a network, as of SmackDown was, the big season premiere, right after the draft, one of the biggest things you can do in WWE's calendar year.
Yes.
They did nothing.
Yeah. They
didn't try to push the new guys that were brought in. They literally had people from Raw that were drafted to Raw in their main slots.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman was in the main event.
Yeah.
He's already on his way to Raw. I understand the New Day thing.
Yeah.
I get that. And I'm happy that they did something.
Yeah. And I understand, too, that's Braun Strowman's farewell. That's his opportunity to take the belt to Raw with him. So I get the ending of the story. I hope that next week is when we see the fallout from the draft really solidify their places.
Right.
I want SmackDown guys on SmackDown. I want Raw guys on Raw. And I want you to leave it the hell alone, and let's see what's what. Not to mention, with Survivor Series around the corner, I hope they do
Big E on one side, the New Day on the other side.
I hope they've been doing like they have been, and they do the champions versus champions, and then the 5-man tag.
Agreed.
Because, you would get, if you look at just right now's lineup, Roman and Drew, take my money.
You know what they should have done? They should have waited till after Survivor Series to do the draft. And had the 5-on-5 Raw and SmackDown be for the number 1 draft pick.
Now that would
wouldn't that have made more sense?
Yeah. Not to mention it would have
gave them something to fight for.
Right, the 5-on-5 gets the first big
the first
big draft picks. Yeah,
that would have been great.
That's a great fucking idea. And next year. We know you're watching.
You realize, that's what's going to happen. Next year they're going to be like, oh, this is an idea we had. We didn't take from people on the internet. Yeah.
We didn't take it from those guys who had 96 subscribers.
Yeah, had nothing to do with, the fact we called almost your entire draft.
Make it 107.
We called the Royal Rumble last year. We called Mania this year. I mean, we're on fire. I gave up the idea for the Thunderdome. Here,
that's true.
I said it months ahead of time.
That's a real thing.
Do they talk about us on television?
Every pick on the draft.
Do they talk about us on television?
They should be talking about us on television.
We sell their show on our show every week.
Every week
for free
advertising.
You could at least be like, hey, those 2 fat guys and the mystery guy on the internet gave us
the faceless man.
Even though he's probably prettier than anybody you have on television.
He's just so handsome.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I got off track. Ring of Honor or New Japan?
Both tournaments still going strong. I actually don't have the Ring of Honor or the G1 Classic results in front of me, but the Ring of Honor Pure title is continuing on. I know that some of the semifinalists include Jay Lethal, his tag team partner, Jonathan Gresham,
yes,
are in the semifinals against each other, I do believe, in the first bracket. We've also got David Finlay still on a tear, and I forget what the fourth and final qualifying match was.
I know on the in the G1 Climate,
yes,
that Jay White is out of the final, but help me with his name. He was Kenny Omega's partner for
Ibushi.
Thank you. It was losing. Lost it.
Kota Ibushi
is in the finals.
Yes, against Tanahashi, right?
Yes, and also over the weekend, Mr. Ospreay.
Yes, Will Ospreay
turned his back on Chaos.
Oh, wow.
And went with the girl and her group. Just
to throw on Will Ospreay's name for a minute, because we're talking about wrestling and making it relevant. Remember the challenge he laid out to CM Punk a little while ago?
Yes.
About if Punk really wanted to make a difference in wrestling, that he would meet him in January at the Tokyo Dome.
Yes.
At Wrestle Kingdom, what would it be, 16 or 17 this year?
16, I think? Maybe it's 18.
I was thinking the other day, now that backstage, now that Punk's no longer on it.
Well, here's the deal, though. WWE, just last week on WWE.com, through their Twitter accounts and their social media accounts, tagged AJ Lee.
Yes, I saw that.
Account.
Yeah, it was with her page.
I mean, all I'm saying is nowadays, as close as we're getting to the Rumble, as close as we're getting to the New Year, and how everyone's been set at home and not been able to do much and stuff, now more than ever,
Punk coming back to wrestling
say never.
Something, yeah, for sure.
Well, not only that, AJ Lee coming back to wrestle somebody. Paige was the one that shouted out at her, how did she put it? She goes, I would do this again, at AJ Lee, lace up those chucks, girl.
Yeah, I remember.
And this, that, and the other. And then CM Punk put something on there that was like, gave like the, oh, here we go, is how he had responded, to which she responded, don't worry, Phil, it would be a typical Divas match. We would only get 6 minutes and she would be home the same night to you. With two of those big look around eyes on Twitter. So, WWE, if Paige can wrestle, put her in the ring.
Agreed.
Do not allow her to go to Japan. Do not allow her to go to AEW, especially TNA. Or Impact. Don't let her go to Impact. Because I'm telling you right now, if she goes somewhere else and it's like, hey, AJ, you want to make it quick? $1 million?
Right.
Meet me in Japan at Wrestle Kingdom. As a matter of fact, bring your husband. Because we know somebody who wants to work him.
I would.
And New Japan is here now.
Will Ospreay against CM Punk would be even bigger than Jericho and Omega was.
Called the Thunderdome. I did that. It was me.
That was all him, baby.
Even though I look like Otis with this beard, it was me.
That is going to wrap us up for this week in Wrestling Review. Y'all know what to do. Send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/prowrestlingthrowdown. Also, like, subscribe, leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about this week. And stay tuned, because coming up next, what's coming up next? Today in wrestling history.
That would be like today, but in the past, right?
Yeah, like yesterday was.
Oh, okay.